On this week's episode of The Engaging Marketeer, I want to talk about email marketing. Now, don't switch off, because email marketing is actually very interesting, and yes, it still works. Now, the issue with email marketing is most people do it really badly, and it's synonymous with spam. You know, we all get hundreds of emails a day. I actually get a lot more than that. And the vast majority of emails I never open. I don't even look at. But don't let me be the barometer of emails, because honestly, they are important and they do work. Now, when you use email marketing, you shouldn't be using it to just sell, buy my shit. Everybody come and buy my stuff. Click here. It's going to be amazing. You want to buy. Because that's the kind of crap that doesn't work. That's the kind of crap that doesn't actually have any impact, because people unsubscribe from that sort of stuff. Now, you see, what you need to do is you want to nurture your list. You want to get your list interested in what you do, get them to trust you, get them to buy into you as a useful, helpful service, something that's a resource of information they want to hear from, so that when you have something that's going to be of use to them, then it works for them. And you're not just trying to sell to them. Unless you're an e-commerce store and they've signed up because they want product updates, in which case that is slightly different. You know, if you're Amazon or if you're Marks and Spencer's, then yes, by all means, send your customers info about your products, because that is why they've subscribed to you in the first place. But most people aren't like that. Now, this is why most businesses go wrong with email marketing. And if you've done it yourself before and this sounds like you, then this is the reason. So let's say you've got a couple of hundred subscribers on your news list. Couple of hundred, not that many. And over the years, you've had a subscribe to my newsletter button on your website that people have filled in. Maybe you've had customers that have bought from you and you've put their email details into your news list without necessarily asking them if you could. GDPR. And you send out newsletters maybe once a month or once every 2 months. And it's got to about 1,000 subscribers maybe. And every time you send out a newsletter, about 100 people, maybe 150 people open it, the rest don't. And you usually get about 10, 15, 20 or more unsubscribes every single time. That's quite common. Now, the reason this doesn't work for most businesses is because you are sending it out, firstly, too infrequently, and secondly, you are sending it out to people who aren't interested. If you send out your email to everybody on your news list and they are not interested in what you do, your delivery rate of those emails is going to decrease, which means you're sending out 1,000 emails, but instead of 1,000 emails getting delivered to the inboxes of the people on your list, about 400 or 300 or 200 of them are actually going to be seen. And the reason for that is email providers such as Hotmail, Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, they will know that dozens or even hundreds of emails from you are going into people's inboxes and not being opened. And they'll see that those emails are not being opened. And when I say they'll see, I don't mean a person is sat there going, hey, it really looks like the emails from that company are not being opened. I don't like the look of this. No, it's automated, obviously. They know that your emails are not being opened. Therefore, the delivery rate of your emails reduces. So you actually get fewer emails getting through in the first place. So what you need to do, and this is the bit that's going to sound a bit counterintuitive, send fewer emails to people. Send them to fewer people. Send your emails out to fewer people that are on your list. If you've got 1,000 people on your list, do not send your emails to 1,000 people, because most of them are not interested. Most of them have tuned out to who you are. Most of them are not going to open it, because if you send out 1,000 emails, very few of them are going to be delivered. They're not actually going to be read, and you're going to find that email marketing was a complete and utter waste of time, as you always thought that it was. So what do? Right. Most email marketing software, and I say most, I mean all, there may be the odd one that doesn't. You might be using some sort of cheapo ass, I don't know, whatever crap that you've got for nothing that somebody said you should use, and you might. But anything remotely decent, like MailChimp, like ActiveCampaign, like Keep or Infusionsoft, like Constant Contact, like a MailerLite, whatever you're using, they will all have tagging. They will all have tagging facilities so that you can tag and segment your news list. So what you want to do is make sure you're only sending emails out to people that are likely to open them. Because the more emails you send out that are opened, the more emails that you send out are going to be delivered. So what we do here at Engage Web, for example, is we have a couple of tags on our news list. So we've got, at the time of recording this, which is the beginning of June, we've got just over 5,000 people on our mailing list. It's all right for a digital marketing agency. It's not too bad. If we were game.co.uk or Amazon, it would be rubbish. But we're not. We're a digital marketing agency. People are interested in digital marketing. There's about 5,000 people on it. We don't email out 5,000 people each week with our newsletter, which goes out on a Thursday morning. No. What we do is we send out the newsletter. Years ago this started. We send out the newsletter, and if somebody doesn't open the newsletter for a period of, I think it's 14 or 21 days, the tag that everybody has on our news list for engaged gets removed. So they no longer have a tag for engaged. If they then go on for another, I think it's 30 days, the tag for active gets removed and the tag for inactive gets added. So this means in 30 days plus the original 14 days, let's say it's 14 days, so that's 44 days, they will have received about, 6, 7 newsletters? If they've received 6 or 7 emails without even opening any of them, they're not that interested in what we're sending. And if we keep sending emails to them, it's going to affect our deliverable rate. So what we do is we only send out our newsletters to people who are tagged as active. If they are not tagged as active, we don't send to them. So our 5,000 news list, there's probably about 2,000 or so, maybe less, maybe more, that actually receive our newsletter. The other 3,000 don't. We don't actively email them because it would affect our deliverability rate. So what do we do with those 3,000 people? Do we just delete them? Do we ignore them? Do we think that they're dead? Do we never hear from them again? They never want to hear from us again? No, what we have is we've got something called a reactivation sequence or a re-engagement sequence. So once somebody gets the inactive tag added, which means they are not active, they are not interested in what we do, they then automatically get added to a re-engagement sequence. And this re-engagement sequence will send them an email approximately every 3 months. One-off email every 3 months, not the weekly email that they would get from us or any off-the-cuff newsletters or information we would send out. They get an email roughly every 3 months, and that email is designed to engage them. So it might have something along the lines of, don't open this email as a subject line, or whoops, didn't mean to send you that, or ooh, this email wasn't meant for you, or it might be something like, have we fallen out? Are you not my friend anymore? Are we breaking up? The kind of thing that's designed to get them to click on it to open it. And if they click on it to open it, then they get tagged as active again, tagged as engaged. They go back into our email sequence and start receiving our emails once again. If they don't open it, if they just delete it or ignore it, they won't get an email then for another 3 months, when they'll get another one of these with a slightly different subject line. And the clever part is the contents of the email is pretty much the same, because it doesn't matter that it's the same email because they didn't open the last one, so who cares if they receive the next one? Identical. The subject line is different. The subject line is very different. So it might be another one of the, oh, I didn't mean to send you this email, or whatever you do, don't open this. Or sometimes, and this is really clever, I'm not crediting myself with this because I actually received an email that did this before, but it was really clever. In the preview text below it, when you see in your email, in your Outlook or in your Hotmail or wherever you're looking at, the preview text underneath said, hi, name, as though it was meant to insert a name. Hi, name, how are you today? And I opened it because I'm thinking, oh, I'm really pissed off that somebody's done that and made this really basic mistake. I'm going to make a fool out of them on social media. But then underneath, when it said, hi, name, how are you today? It said, sorry, just kidding. I know who you are, Darren. They did it deliberately to make me click on it. Very clever. Love that. So that's the difference, you see, between email marketing that works and doesn't work. Most businesses will just fire out their newsletters periodically to every single person on their database. And if you do that, it will seriously reduce the deliverability of your email, which means you will actually reach fewer and fewer people. What you really need to do is segment your email database so that only the people who are interested in what you send out are actually opening your email. That means more and more people will receive your email, and the people who are not interested, you filter into a reactivation sequence so they do not get your weekly email. They get something every few months, every 3 months we do it, to get them back onto the sequence. And if they don't do it by the end of that period, which is something like 9 months, 12 months, then they're gone. Because they're never going to open anything ever again. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I hope that's been useful. If it has, make sure you're subscribed for more useful tips like this on our podcast, whether that's on iTunes, Spotify, Audible, or on YouTube, of course. Leave me a like, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what you've got to say. And I will catch you on the next podcast.